Hello, friends. Welcome back to Easy Talk English, the place where learning English feels easy and fun. Today, I want to talk about something that every English learner feels at some point: your accent. That small sound in your voice that tells people where you come from. For some of you, it feels like a problem. Maybe you've thought, my accent is too strong, or people don't understand me, or even, I wish I sounded like a native speaker. But what if I told you that your accent is not something to hide? It's something to celebrate. What if I told you that your accent can actually empower you, make you unique, and show your strength to the world? Let's be honest. Many English learners feel shy or even embarrassed about their accent. You might worry that people will judge you or laugh. Maybe you've been in a situation where someone didn't understand you right away and you felt small. But here's the truth: an accent doesn't mean you're wrong, it means you're brave, because it takes courage to speak another language. Every sound you make in English is proof that you are learning, growing, and reaching beyond your comfort zone. Think about it. If you meet someone speaking your language with a different accent, what do you think? You probably feel impressed. You admire their effort, right? You think, wow, they're trying. But when it's your turn to speak English, you forget that others might be thinking the same about you. So let me remind you: people respect you more than you realize. Your accent tells your story. It shows where you come from, what languages you already know, and how far you've traveled to speak this new one. It's part of your identity. It's like your fingerprint. No one else has the same one. And yet, so many learners try to erase it. But what if your accent is your superpower? Let me share a story with you. There was a woman named Maria from Brazil. She loved speaking English, but she hated her accent. Every time she spoke, she tried to sound more American. She copied the sounds, the rhythm, even the slang, but it made her nervous and unnatural. One day, she had to give a presentation at her job. She practiced for days, but right before it started, she thought, maybe they'll laugh at my accent. When she began speaking, she was shaking. But halfway through, something amazing happened. Her boss smiled and said, I love how passionate you sound. At that moment, Maria realized something. People weren't listening to her accent, they were listening to her message. From that day, she stopped hiding her accent and started speaking proudly. That's what happens when you accept your voice. You become powerful. Because real confidence doesn't come from sounding native, it comes from sounding authentic. Let's be real: there's no such thing as perfect English. There are many kinds of English: American English, British English, Indian English, Nigerian English, Pakistani English, Chinese English, and they're all valid. The English language belongs to everyone who uses it. English is a global language now. It's no longer owned by one country, it's owned by you, the speakers who use it to connect, to learn, to dream. Think about how amazing that is. Every time you speak English with your accent, you are adding your culture, your rhythm, your flavor to this global language. You're not copying someone else, you're contributing something new. But I understand sometimes you feel frustrated when people don't understand you right away. That's normal. It happens to everyone, even native speakers. The key is not to feel ashamed. The key is to communicate. Speak slowly, clearly, and confidently. Use your hands, your expressions, your smile. Communication is not only about sound, it's about connection. Here's a little secret: even people with perfect grammar can sound boring if they speak without confidence. And even people with strong accents can sound inspiring if they speak with energy and heart. So ask yourself, do you want to sound perfect, or do you want to be understood and remembered? You see, confidence changes everything. When you speak proudly with your accent, people don't hear mistakes. They hear courage. They hear personality. They hear you. Let's do a small exercise together. Take a deep breath and say this out loud. My accent is a sign of my journey. It shows my strength. It shows that I'm learning. Say it again, but with feeling. Doesn't that feel good? You're not weak for having an accent. You're strong for speaking a new language at all. I remember once I met a man from Japan who spoke English with a very strong accent, but he spoke with so much passion that everyone listened closely. After his speech, people clapped loudly, not because he was perfect, but because he was real. His voice had emotion, and his message had heart. That's what people connect with. You don't have to erase your accent. You can just make it clearer. Focus on pronunciation, not perfection. Practice the sounds that are difficult for you, like X or R or V. Record yourself, listen, and improve a little every day. But remember, improvement is not the same as hiding. You can become clearer without losing who you are. Think of famous people around the world. Many global leaders, actors, and business people speak English with their own accents: French, Spanish, Indian, African, Middle Eastern. Do you think their accent stops them? Not at all. It makes them memorable. It makes them stand out. And that can be you too. You can even use your accent to connect with others. When someone hears your accent, they might ask, "Where are you from?" That's your chance to start a conversation, to share your story, to connect through language. Your accent becomes a bridge, not a barrier. Here's something else to remember. Your accent shows effort. It tells the world that you worked hard to learn English. It shows discipline and dedication. You learned something that millions of people never even try. Isn't that amazing? So don't let anyone make you feel small for your accent. If someone laughs or corrects you in a rude way, that says more about them than about you. You are learning, you are growing, and you are doing something brave. Always remember that. Let's imagine something together. Imagine you walk into a room full of English speakers. You feel nervous, but then you remind yourself, my accent tells my story. You take a deep breath and start speaking. You make one or two mistakes, and that's okay. You laugh, you keep going, you connect. By the end of the conversation, you realize something. Nobody cared about your accent. They cared about you. That's what true English confidence feels like. Not the absence of accent, but the presence of courage. You can also use your accent as motivation. Think of it as a reminder that you are bilingual, maybe even multilingual. You can think in two languages, dream in two worlds. That's not a weakness, that's a gift. And when you accept your accent, something magical happens. Your fluency improves. Why? Because you stop trying to be perfect. You stop worrying about every sound. You relax. And when you relax, your words flow naturally. Fear disappears and confidence takes its place. Let's say it again together. Your accent is not a problem, it's your power. It's your story, your culture, your pride. When you speak English with your accent, you are not showing mistakes, you are showing bravery. So next time you speak English and someone says, "Oh, you have an accent," smile and say, "Yes, I do. It tells where I come from." Say it with pride, because your accent is a map of your journey, and that journey deserves to be respected. And if you ever feel unsure, remember this: English is not about sounding like someone else. It's about being yourself in another language. Every word you say builds a bridge between your world and another person's world. And that is something truly beautiful. So from now on, stop trying to hide your accent. Let it shine. Let it remind you of your strength, your effort, and your progress. Speak with confidence. Speak with pride. Speak as you. Thanks for watching Easy Talk English. If you found this helpful, please like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. Keep practicing and see you in the next video. And tell me in the comments, how do you feel about your accent? And what will you do from today to make it your strength instead of your fear?